Hey everybody, this is John Marucci. In May 2022, I published a video of the first month's ownership experience of my Ember 191 MDB travel trailer. The video caused a contentious phone call to me from Ember on a holiday weekend. There were so many things wrong with the trailer that I needed the company to fix under warranty that I pulled the video until I had all items fixed. Once all items were fixed by the company approximately this time last year, I sold the unit at a significant financial loss. I did this to get out from under the very real stress the unit was causing, and so that another owner would have the benefit of the remaining transferable warranty. I decided to hold off on republishing the initial ownership experience video until now, as I wanted to give some time after this difficult experience to objectify the ordeal. Before we run the initial video, let me say three things in hindsight. First, I would strongly caution anyone from buying a new model RV, even from established brands. All the more from a brand new company. My model was still being refined in the spring of 2022, and in my opinion, Ember beta tested on full paying customers, especially those of us foolhardy enough to purchase early models. Buy established models from established brands. Second, you're entirely at the manufacturer's mercy once you hand over your money for a new RV. To their credit, Ember was willing to allow my unit to be brought back to their facility 4 times in the first 90 days to be fixed under warranty. The people were generally helpful in getting things fixed, yet I knew I was at their mercy, and them knowing I had a YouTube channel possibly expedited things. I do know of other owners who have had pushback. Third, you're at the mercy of your selling dealer. Ember is at fault for choosing dealers who are not ready to sell their product. In my case, the dealer I purchased from did not understand anything to do with the solar package. They also proved incompetent in dealing with a simple water pump issue, which eventually had to go back to the factory. My dealer is no longer in business, so if I'd kept the unit, I would have had to travel further for service. The factory is less than 50 miles away, so I was able to have my unit serviced there. Others are not as fortunate, as a recent owner relayed to me after their dealer made things worse. In closing, the RV industry generally has been callous to customers and can't seem to equate current industry woes with poor quality and bad customer experience. My experience with the Ember would have been my last with an RV had I not owned another RV. It was that bad. Let's roll the original video. In this episode, I'll share the story of my new Ember 191 MDB travel trailer. Unfortunately, it's been a rocky early ownership experience, and we'll lay out the details in this video. Hey everybody, I'm John Marucci. I'm an avid traveler and teacher and love to explore. In 2016, I decided to travel by RV and have never looked back. I've had my share of problems along the way, and being a teacher by nature, I tried to turn these problems into help for others. Whether you're new to RV travel or experienced, you're in the right place. So let's jump in. I woke up angry this morning because of my new travel trailer. Unfortunately, I'm living through yet another excruciating experience of RV ownership. My last 2 travel trailers, my 2017 and a half RPod 179 and my 2020 Keystone Bullet, both had numerous issues. The former had structural problems, and the latter had many component issues in its first 2 years. So wanting to get a better trailer with more capabilities, I was willing to give a new company with new ideas a chance. The Ember RVs looked promising, with full off-road suspensions, and given the max solar package that I opted for on my 191 MDB, full off-grid ability. My expectations were high, and so was the price tag. So here's the story of what happened in the last few months. I special ordered the Ember 191 with the max solar package on Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. The trailer was built in the next few weeks, and I was informed it had arrived on the dealer lot in West Michigan on Tuesday, March 22nd. I was out of town at the time, so on Thursday, April 14th, I had an appointment to pick up my travel trailer 18 miles north of my home. I had a bank cashier's check and was intending to pick up the trailer that day. During the walkthrough, which otherwise went well, the slide of the 191 got stuck and would not work correctly. Although the dealer made every effort over 30+ minutes and several phone calls to get it working, they couldn't get the slide to work properly. The purchase was put on hold and the factory needed to get involved to get the slide fixed. This didn't deter me, given that things can happen. Also, the dealer assumed the purchase would close that day and had already set up a temporary license tag for the unit. In Michigan, these temp tags last for 15 days. The factory fixed the slide swiftly, to their credit. The trailer was back down to Bristol, Indiana, about 60 miles south of the dealership, within a day or so, fixed and sent back to my dealer the following week. On Friday, April 22nd, we closed on the new trailer, having redone the walkthrough and seeing that the slide was working fine. It was raining that Friday, and having transported the trailer back to my house, I opened it up, including the slide, and took a 90-minute break for dinner, looking forward to coming out to the trailer that evening to enjoy it a bit and possibly begin setting some things up. I had a camping trip already booked for that weekend. During dinner, the rain was medium heavy, not a tropical downpour or anything of significant volume. Yet when we opened the trailer door, the interior had streams of water coming from the slide. It had flowed from the slide to the entry door, ruining the board at the side of the cabinet near the cabin door entry. Besides rushing to get towels, my heart sank with this discovery, as did my camping plans. Surprisingly, the slide had no tape on the interior fascia closest to the trailer's interior. I immediately left a message with my dealer and was contacted by the manufacturer about having the trailer back to the factory to be repaired within a very short period. This appointment was set for the following Tuesday, April 26th, with a choice of them picking the trailer up or me bringing it to them with the opportunity of a factory tour. I chose the latter, given the factory is only 40 miles south of my residence. That Tuesday, April 26th, we brought the trailer down to the factory, and the skilled workers there did a swift job fixing the slide leak. While at the factory, we learned that they had recently changed their process of sealing the slide and are applying this change to new units being produced. They also replaced the damaged wood at the entry, which was no easy task. The work was done well. The factory tour was outstanding, with one of the principal owners taking considerable time out of his day to show us around. There were a few other minor issues we had addressed at the time, a scratch table, an LED light, and some other things. Before going down, we didn't know how long the fix would take, so I didn't make any further camping plans. The next day, the trailer was in my driveway, good to go for camping. I was thinking about making a reservation at a local state park for a shakedown trip when I realized that the temporary license tag was set to expire on April 29th. As I mentioned earlier, the dealer set this temp tag up on April 14th, the day we were supposed to close. Now it was the 27th, and I realized I had to wait for the actual license plate from the dealer who was supposed to have picked it up, yet the purchase was delayed, and so was the license plate. Long story short, I had to wait another week for the license plate. Finally, on Friday, May 6th, I had the permanent Michigan license plate for the Ember, and I made a camping reservation for that weekend. So on Sunday, May 8th through Wednesday, May 11th, we were finally out in the Ember on its first trip. The trailer was solid and easy to tow, yet on the trip 2 problems occurred. First, the water pump would not turn off by itself. I tried everything recommended and have had this exact brand and model water pump before in my R-Pod, so I was familiar with it, yet nothing worked. The pump simply wouldn't stay fully pressurized. I was manually turning on and off the water pump the entire trip. Next, after showering, I noticed a good deal of water on the board by the shower door. After videotaping it, it was apparent that the shower door leaked. Unfortunately, the board next to the shower door wicked up the water and bloated. So, on Thursday, May 12th, I drove the trailer back to the dealer for them to inspect the water pump problem and shower door leak. The next day, Friday, May 13th, the dealer called saying they could get the water pump to stop when they bypassed the Truma Combi water heater furnace combination unit, but not when water was going into the Trumacambi tank. Also, the tech recaulked some of the shower door, but said it was still leaking somewhat. His solution was to send the trailer to another dealership in Grand Rapids, Michigan, for their techs to try and fix the water pump issue. My understanding is that my Ember was towed up to the other dealership on either Friday, May 13th or Saturday, May 14th. On Tuesday, May 17th, I called my dealer and asked for a status update. They informed me that the other dealer hadn't looked at it yet, but planned to on Wednesday, May 18th. I hadn't heard back from the dealer, so on Tuesday, May 24th, I called for a status update. The dealer mentioned that they were picking up my unit from the Grand Rapids dealer and that it would be back the same day. The next day, Wednesday, May 25th, the tech at my dealer called to inform me that the trailer had the water pump replaced and the shower door caulked again. As of this video, the trailer is being rechecked by my dealer before I make the trek to pick it up. Unfortunately, given the timing of these events, the spring camping season was pretty much lost, and I wasn't able to book any summer holiday or early summer camping trips, not knowing when the work would be done. I plan to detail the likes and dislikes of my early Ember 191 MDB model in future videos when I have possession of the trailer, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel for more. Okay, that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. This is John Marucci, and so long for now.